Today we're going to talk about the solar system, Unit 4, Lesson 1. Then we're going to talk about the historical models of the solar system. We're going to talk today a little bit about how we have come to understand the solar system as we know it today. Your standard is 6.2.3. Understand that the Sun, an average star where nuclear reactions occur, is the central and largest body in the solar system. So what is the center of the solar system and how do we define it? The solar system is defined as the Sun and all the bodies that go around the Sun. Our current model of the solar system is a sun-centered or heliocentric model. Literally, heliocentric means sun-centered. Helio means sun, centric means centered. That's what we know it as today. The heliocentric model is where the Earth and the other planets orbit around the Sun. Now, it hasn't always been that way. The earliest model of the solar system started out as Earth being in the center, with the Sun, the Moon, and the planets going around it. We call that a geocentric model. Geocentric meaning literally Earth-centered. Geo means Earth, centric means centered. The heliocentric model was not generally accepted until the work of Copernicus and Kepler in the late 16th and 17th centuries. So all that time before that, people of the time believed it to be Earth-centered, that the Earth was the middle of our solar system. I want you to pause the video now and I want you to read the first paragraph about what is the solar system and read about Aristotle down here. Who proposed some of the early models of the solar system? Well, until Galileo improved on the telescope in 1609, people looked up at the sky with nothing but their own eyes. They didn't have any type of devices to use to help them see into the heavens. To observers, it appeared that the Sun, the Moon, and the planets and the stars were going around the Earth each day. Of course, remember, they don't have a telescope. They just look at everything moving and assume that they're standing still and stuff is moving around them. This caused them to conclude that Earth was not moving, but everything was going around the Earth. So that's how that's how the scientists at the time thought and believed that the Earth was the center of the solar system. Johannes Kepler was a German mathematician and he was an astronomer. After he did some careful observations and analysis, he realized that planetary orbits were not circular, but they were more like ellipses. And remember, an ellipse is like an elongated circle, so more like an oval shape. He formulated three principles, which today we know as Kepler's laws. His first law, these will seem very obvious to you, but remember, he was the first one to come up with this. This was something that we now take for granted. Nobody else thought of this and nobody else realized this. The first law states that the planetary orbits are ellipses with the Sun at one focus. The second law states that the planets move faster in their orbits when they're closer to the Sun. So in his second law, he says that when the planet is in its position closer to the Sun, it's going to move a little faster. There's a little more gravity pull there. When it's farther away from the Sun, it's going to move slightly slower. The third law relates the distance of the planet from the Sun to the time that it takes to go around in orbit, to do one rotation. So obviously Mercury is closer to the Sun than we are. Their year, the time it takes for the planet to go around the Sun, is much shorter on Mercury than it is on Earth. Of course, it's inhabitable. Who proposed some of the early models of the solar system? Galileo. He was a scientist who approached questions in the fashion that we know today as a scientific method. So he was really the first one that we know of that used the scientific method. And he significantly improved the newly invented telescope and used it to view celestial objects. So he could see so much more with his improved telescope. He observed the moons Io, Europa, Callisto, and Ganymede orbiting Jupiter, and today we actually call these moons the Galilean satellites because he observed them. I want you now to go to the section on Galileo and read that part for me, please. Go ahead and pause the video. Galileo made improvements to the telescope technology also. He used his telescopes to observe sunspots. He observed phases of Venus, Earth's moon, the 4 Galilean moons of Jupiter, and he even observed a supernova. Of course, now I want you to go ahead and fill out your visa After your notes are done, fill out your visa, please, when your notes have been completed, and have those ready to show me at the beginning of class tomorrow. Okay. Did I do it? It didn't pop up. Shoot. Oh, shoot. Please end the active presentation. Okay.